It's been hard to stay motivated through a lot of the like unfortunate things that have happened through esports for me. But it's kind of fun. Like I like going in and it's just a shit fest and trying to make it not that. It's kind of enjoyable.
Hello everyone, it's been a little while, but it's not just me that's been gone for a little while. Joining me is returning to the LCS. It's head coach of Immortals, head coach of
Yes.
Immortals. Both those things are kind of crazy. Inero Smith, welcome back, man.
Thanks, man. It's good to be back. Nice to be coaching again.
Yeah. God, there's so many things that are new here. Let's start with the coaching angle. It's been a while since you've been a coach. You've been general manager, so not only running the coaches, but the organization over at Golden Guardians for the last 2 years? Was it 2 years? So what was the decision like, shifting away from management back to coaching?
I always really enjoyed coaching.
Sure.
There was just an opening for management at Golden Guardians, and I wanted to really explore that and just kind of opportunities outside of esports over time. It's not the best work experience where everything is coaching, teenagers playing a video game all day.
Sure.
So I just wanted to build up and get a better idea of just how things worked. Like moving up is always a positive. And I kind of still have this whole year to do what I'm passionate about without really having to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I love coaching and I know a lot of the guys on the team. So it made a lot of sense for me to just come back, fuck it, coach a little bit more, enjoy it, have fun.
Yeah. What is something that you learned that coaching helped with management?
That coaching helped with management?
Yeah, that coaching helped with management. That was kind of an awkward way to ask that question.
No, you're good. It's still all kind of like leading a team at the end of the day. And when I went into management, a lot of the stuff that I think that the organization needed help on was really understanding that and just how to work together through things and actually cross departments and make things happen. So I feel like we made a lot of progress in that internally. Unfortunately, it was not enough time to jump into anything, but that was really helpful. A lot of carryover there from team building on this, a team building in an actual more corporate-y culture.
Yeah, and then the inverse. How did management help your coaching coming into the split?
God, that part I don't really know too much. I guess I'm more aware of what's going on above the coaching level, I guess, since I got to talk with a bunch of the managers at different teams, work alongside them. I don't know too much of it that's going to help with coaching though, really. None of it was really related to the game.
Yeah.
More so, I guess, just expecting what other teams are actually going to do with their moves, knowing what they have financially to work with.
Gotcha. Fascinating. Then for folks that don't know, you spent the last split coaching, right? You were coaching with Disguise, DSG over in the amateur circuit. What was that experience like? What did you get out of it? What was different? Yeah, let's go.
So I was volunteering with DSG all of last split. It was cool. I liked working. I spend every off season kind of free moment I get helping tier 2 players in some way. So it just made sense while I was free and there was nothing going on in LCS for me, just work there. It was weird, working remotely for everything. That's been so long since I've worked purely remote coaching.
How long?
Since 2015.
Pre Echo Fox.
Yeah, that was my first foray into coaching stuff was remote. And it sucks. It's pretty bad. COVID, we had the remote era for a little bit, but once all the bubble stuff happened, that went away. Remote scrims just suck. You obviously have your team building things that you can work together on, but it's at the end of the day, you're just getting off your computer and going into your bedroom doing whatever, going outside, you don't have any of your teammates nearby.
Yeah.
It wasn't really the same in that regard. I loved working with all the players there and we had a really good environment, but it just wasn't really, it wasn't as fulfilling, honestly. It didn't really feel I don't know, even as competitive as NACL used to feel, and it didn't feel as, I don't know, it's just like exciting where you have everyone in person. So it was
Yeah.
a little sad in that regard, but I still really liked working with it. DSG was chill to work with. All the players were really easy to work with too.
What you said, like, doesn't feel the same. You don't have the teammates there. What is like one example of like something you would have liked to implement that you couldn't because of remote coaching?
I mean, really, it's just doing shit outside of the game together. Like even just going places together. It helps when you're like closer. Like every team in any competitive sport, like you're in person and you're gonna do stuff together. You're
Sure.
gonna do anything. It can be literally anything in the world to just like get closer with. That isn't, League of Legends and doing the same thing you do all day and work. Just kind of missing that, and also just like seeing people like face to face. Like you can turn webcams on and whatever, but like realistically, at the end of the day, you don't know if everyone's like fully locked in. Like you can read body language a little bit, but like I don't have a monitor I can watch like everyone on all the time and like see it while I'm also reviewing. Like I don't have them in front of me.
Yeah.
And they don't have their teammates right in front of them either. So it's just like a disconnect. I don't know.
Yeah, it would feel a little dystopian having it kind of that way too. It's like you have the face cam, but then also like, what's the room look like, and what are you eating?
So it's a little weird, just a little odd. That's really it, but it's still fine.
What did you make of, for your first time in a little while, going down in tier 2 and being hands-on in it, being the fact that you've had a reputation of pulling some players up and finding some talent?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, what do you mean by what do I make of it?
How's the skill level? How's the professionalism of the orgs? How are the teams, the players, stuff like that?
I mean, the skill level is obviously like going to be a little bit worse when people aren't able to commit like full time overall to it.
Sure.
I think professionalism of the orgs, I mean, that's everyone kind of knows a little bit about since the academy teams are out. Like it's kind of the Wild West. I think like a lot of orgs are going to change up this split too, from what I heard. Maybe fake info, but it's never like truly reliable. Like you're probably best off being associated with like a LCS affiliate, if anything, especially if you want to move up and have like stability.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you have like DSG and Fear that are like pretty good orgs, it seems like, overall to work with. You're not running into like pay issues or anything on that, but professionalism wise, it's all way different than when, it was like a franchised academy system.
Yeah. How about this? Was it when it was a franchise academy system, were you better prepared for moving up to the LCS than what it currently is, where it's, hey, there's open competition to, create big teams?
I mean, I think for sure there's no doubt about that. I think like the ideal world was just having like the LCS like kind of academy teams or affiliates in some way, and then amateur teams can like compete against them. Like I think that split where that was happening was really cool. Yeah. Like, I mean, Fear was like top 4. I think they were 4th place, so they were above a bunch of academy teams, including like GG Academy. Yep. That type of stuff is really, really good. It's kind of the closest we get to the old like relegation model of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not having that, I don't know, you're just not as, it's definitely not as prepared when you're not in person making like a livable salary in like tier 2, but it is what it is in terms of the finances it takes for everything to exist that way.
That was a lot of catch up. Let's fast forward to now. You're here at Immortals. You're back in a coaching role. Why Immortals? How did you end up in this spot, and what makes it a place that you want to be at? Apply your trade.
I mean, first off, like options that exist out there. I reached out to a lot of teams in off season, just offering to like work, volunteer, just to, like do something, because I was primarily just looking for something to do this year while I'm waiting for anything on the Warriors side to kind of like open up where it'll make sense for me. Yeah. So options that exist, like talked to IMT, like reached out to Dignitas, 100 Thieves, and C9, of course. Nothing like really existing that was going to be like this year overall. It would have been like all start of next year. So for me, it was just like, well, Immortals is an option. I know a lot of the people there, so it was an org that I had interest in working in. So that was like a really big, important piece for me. For other teams, it was like Dignitas, like potential where there's like Licorice and like reunite there with like what the old like GG 2024 roster like could have been after all the like budget drop stuff, which seems like that's potentially turning into over there. And between that, like Immortals just made sense for me. I think it's a group of players that can probably compete. Like it really feels like just watching, like they have the ability to actually do it. You hear from everyone that like scrim gods. Like I ask around from like friends in the league that are on different teams that they feel like from them that like the team is good in scrims and it's a bit confusing they're not better.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, that sounds fun. You know, I don't have to like necessarily come in. You don't come in with like high expectations of what the team could be, but you can like feel that there must be something good there that's just not necessarily like unlocked. And finding that for me is always just like really fun. So I don't know. It seemed like a fun like challenge for things. So I really wanted to do it.
Yeah, 60 something. I heard it was like above 60% win rate in scrims that just wasn't able to translate over. I mean, I cashed in that one time when they beat Cloud9 on my guest host day. Perfect. That was great. That was perfect. Thanks.
Well done, man.
But you've had about like a week now with the team of this interview, as of this interview.
Yep.
What are some strengths specifically about the team or things that jump out at you?
I think strengths are mainly focused around like really individual like fights, like small skirmishes. I think they're really good at. Like they know how to like play their champions. There's not like usually on a team you usually have like one or two guys that are kind of just like, he doesn't necessarily like got it, but he's like smart and like provides something else in the team. I think everyone on this team has kind of got the ability to like play situations super well when they're related to just like those small skirmishes.
You've had previous experiences with a couple of these players before. Ole over at Golden Guardians, Armeo back over in Echo Fox way back in the day.
Yeah.
Have you had experience coaching with Tactical before?
No, but I'm like, I've been around Tactical for a while. Like I know Eddie decently well, and he's always been someone that I had like an interest in working with. I like working with crazy bot laners. It's fun.
Yeah. So you're reconnecting now with those two guys. How does what kind of experiences can you lean on moving into the split?
I mean, I just know like a lot about Ole, how he works. Like he's a unique guy. I'm sure you know him.
Yeah. Very
unique personality. Has a lot of strengths and a lot of weaknesses if you're not necessarily paying attention and like supporting him in the right way.
Yeah.
So I'm at least confident like I can get the best out of Jusung. And then like, I mean, for Armeo, it's been forever. Like I haven't worked with him since he was Grig, you know?
Yeah. Grown up since then.
Yeah, he's you know, he's a different person. 7 years will change a person for sure. Which is crazy to say that it's been like 7 years since then. But I don't know, just like that level of familiarity where like I respected him a lot back then. I feel like he had some like respect for me too, to like kind of vouch for that I could like work here. I don't know, it's just easier to come in and talk to people that you like know and have been around for a little bit. So it's like easier to also get used to talking to like Castle and Mask, who I like have zero familiarity with, and they of course don't know who I am before I come in.
Well, with those two guys, what has jumped out about them to you?
Dude, Castle is like the nicest person ever, honestly. Like you go into a review, bring up any topic, he is just full attention, like just nodding, like listening. You can tell like he's fully locked in and like giving his best. When anything like kind of lacks in a game, you can always count on him to like be showing up and like giving like 100% in terms of communication and game, which is always awesome to see. Like I don't know, you never know when you're like bringing someone over what their personality is like, if they'll be able to like communicate.
Yeah.
He told me like his English was bad and he's talking to me completely perfect. Your English is great, man. I don't know what you're saying. And then with Mask is clearly like he knows a lot about the game, and it's going to be like really important getting him like connected with everyone else in the team so we can be on the same page and like make better map plays together. Because right now our weakness is like actually playing as a team. Like it's really clear like the team synergy level is not there, and I think unlocking Mask will be a big part of that because he's clearly like a smart guy. Like he comes in talking about the patches, knows everything about everyone else's lane already too, and stuff he thinks will be good when usually people are focused on like their own role. Like he's locked in, like I think this is good, I don't think that would be good because of like X and Y. Like he's clearly caring a lot and really passionate, and I love working with people like that.
Interesting that it feels like your work's cut out for you in terms of the first thing you want to work on in terms of team play. The way that you've gone about working on a team in the past is bigger coaching staffs, right? Over at Golden Guardians, you had multiple different coaches, like hands-on. Here, what is your staff and what's the structure that you have moving forward?
Yeah, so here it is me, Joey, and Robert. it's a pretty small staff, but ultimately, like, I think that is the right number of people to have helping a team. I really didn't want to have like a massive staff of people. I don't think that was like necessarily the best setup. And regardless of what the like community is like taken away for like energy success and everything, I don't think that they felt the same way either. Just from talking with them, three feels good. I didn't know a lot about Joey. I knew a little bit about Robert. I had worked at like a coaching summit with him back in 2017 when I was on Echo Fox, and I've like kept up with him loosely since then. But I didn't know much about Joey. But Joey's got like former playing experience.
Yep.
Generally working with coaching staff, I like to have players that have transitioned into coaching and like have a background in the game and kind of know what that experience is like. It's just easier to translate over that to like working with players and have better understanding of the actual feel in the game and like what things are like. So I don't know. I think it'll be good. Like our dynamic's been pretty great so far. Obviously it's like the beginning, like no real challenges yet, no real hurdles.
Yeah.
But it feels good, feels pretty natural. I didn't know what to expect coming in with a team where I'm not like in the process of like helping people get hired, or I've been there first and they're coming in like second, and like I'm bringing them into like my system. I'm kind of coming into their system and seeing like where I fit and like building out from there.
Yeah. So you've gone now from making it to Worlds, kind of the Worlds qualifier.
Worlds, kinda.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you call it? Did you make it to Worlds or did you not?
I bought the Worlds jacket to feel like it. I don't know. We didn't really make it to Worlds. We made it to the Worlds like qualifier event. So I still haven't ticked that box yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, Immortals hasn't gotten out of the first round of playoffs in a long time, hasn't made the playoffs in many
time.
splits.
Yeah.
It feels like you're going to an organization that is starting from the bottom again,
Yeah.
working its way on up. How do you mentally frame tackling that? That stigma, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you know anything like my history, man, I'm kind of used to that one at this point. Like, I started in Mouse Sports. This is the bottom UCS team. We had to build up from there to be in finals versus Dig the next year. It's always been like that. Echo Fox is the same. Managed to get to like top 3, come into Golden Guardians, same thing. We had to do that multiple times because of everything that happened there.
Yep.
It's always a different challenge at each team. Like, framing it really is just trying to figure out like what strengths exist here and how we can like actually build on those as a group. Not necessarily trying to like piece together like who's the best like individual in each role and have like 5 people that are super individually great and like force it and like spend hella money to do it. Just trying to really figure out how we can make our strengths work together with what we have and then like build pieces together from there. Like I'm only on with Immortals for like end of the year. That's the only thing I have with them right now. But I'm planning to treat it just like I would any other team I'm trying to like push to that level. And the team internally is like down for that same expectation, like the players and coaches alike. So I don't know. I'm just coming in, and first week has been honestly like, I got to figure out how you guys think about everything, and I need to see how you naturally think about the game, how you naturally talk to each other, and where we can like start piecing these together to make them actual strengths and not just 5 random people playing the game.
Yeah. Then what does success look like for Immortals this summer split of 2024?
Success for Immortals probably looks like making it to playoffs, since it's been a while. Success for the players and the staff, I think it's a little bit higher than that. I think they would love to see the team actually get like close to competing for Worlds, and of course, making it is a huge success for them. So shooting for that. We'll see what happens there, of course. Like, we haven't even scrimmed LCS teams yet. We're currently just scrimming collegiate NACL and Latin American teams. So hard to really gauge everything entirely off of that, but that's like what I'm going to shoot for. And if we make playoffs, like org success, we'll take those, but yeah. I want to do more than that, of course.
Well, how many more years are you going to keep doing this, man? You did bring up like 7 years, and that was at LCS. Before that, what was it, Tainted Minds?
Oh God, yeah, Tainted Minds.
And then before that, Dream Team. Yeah, I'm saying, like, you've been at this almost like a decade now. How do you keep finding the next challenge?
Shit, I don't know, to be honest with you. Like, it's been hard to stay motivated through a lot of the like unfortunate things that have happened through esports for me. But it's kind of fun. like I like going in and it's just a shit fest and trying to make it not that. It's kind of enjoyable. It'd be nice to be in like the cushy, like easy spot for once where your team is like good, your org's spending a lot of money, and it's like, a pretty free pass to go like top 3. You're probably making it there. So that'd be nice someday, pipe dream scenario, who knows? But it's fun. I fucking love doing it. It's nice being stressed a little bit, not knowing what's going to happen, and then trying to build that out. It's definitely more challenging and fun. So who knows? After this, like when like my Warrior stuff is set up, might be doing that on the like WNBA side. I hope that's basically what I've been aiming for. So we'll see.
All right. Well, to close it on out, what is the message to the Immortals fans and prospective Immortals fans for this 2024 summer split? What do you hope to give to them and have them join the Immortals bandwagon?
I think the only thing I can really offer to give them is a competitive team. I think they got a little taste of that in spring, but ending 8th is not a good place to finish it.
They moved up from the split before.
Yeah, we're top 8 now instead of top 10.
There you go.
Just making a competitive team overall for like fans to enjoy and for the players themselves. I'm going to do everything in my power to do that. I don't know, the team's motivated. I'm extremely motivated to be doing something again, so I'll make the most of it for them.
All right. Hey, man, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. It's always great to have you back in the LCS with all your experience and, your wit, and now getting to see you lead the team. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate the compliments.
Yeah,
thank you.
Sure. All right, well, best of luck. Cheers, brother.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right. I was trying to figure out why I said wit.
I'm so witty.